Hello again. Welcome back to Marta's Planning Mess. I just wanted to check in with my Sterling Ink N2 vertical planner. Let you know kind of where I'm at in this planning journey. So here we are. So for the month, I'm still keeping my monthly view same. I haven't made any changes. I've been putting in some stickers. I told everybody I wasn't going to do that, but that's just too fun. And we'll see. It hasn't gotten horribly bulky. And since this is a compact, it's the thinner of the two. You can get one with like a page a day behind all of your weekly and monthly calendars. This one just has like 200 some pages. So I have room to bulk it up if I want to. Still using this this leather. I got it from Etsy and it came from Ukraine. It's a handmade planner cover that's weeks size. It's got room for like 3 credit cards, and I put some of my little rulers and stuff in this pocket. I kind of wish it had one of these that was going this way so I could stick my rulers in like that, but it's okay. It's working. This doesn't have anything back here, which is fine because the more pockets and things you have, the bulkier it gets. It did have a pen loop here, but the pen loop was number 1, bulky, number 2, not big enough to fit my pen. Even like it wouldn't fit at all, but even a thinner pen than like these pens, it was a chore to get it in and out. And I like having multiple colors available, having a pencil available like this one has. And so the bulk of it and everything, I just took it off. So I need to trim up these little pieces of extra thread that are hanging off. But anyway, I'm happy with it. It's nice and slim. It makes it feel really nice. I do have a clear cover for it if I want to go slimmer, and I might switch back into that at some point. But right now, this is working. Okay, so that's the monthly view. Let's go to our weekly view. This is this week. So I use this traditionally like you use a timeline type of planning. That's what I need my weekly page for. And so I've got my weather worked out here. We've got a snow day today, so that actually canceled my hot lunch that I was going to do. And we may have one again tomorrow. Now, there's only like a dusting of snow, but we're in the south, so any hint of snow, and we've got it. And we were in that area that got hit by Hurricane Helene. Our county got devastated by that, if they were anyone that was living by the river. And so our schools were out for a couple weeks with flood days because like people couldn't even cross places where bridges were washed away. So we had so many, our school didn't have as many, but the county schools had so many flood days that thankfully the governor forgave those because they were having to like not cancel school with snow, which is unheard of in the South, because they'd used up all of their days. So now that those have gotten forgiven, they're like, hey, it's time to do snow days again. Anyway, where I live, it can seem silly, but in my county, we've got the Smoky Mountains behind us at the edge of the county. And so if you live up there and buses are trying to get to your kids, that snow may not melt for weeks, and ice and a mess. And you go off the road, you're in, going down the side of a mountain. So it does make sense when you live here. But if you move here from the north like I did, and you're used to, say, the snow belt of Michigan, you're like, what is wrong with these people down here? It's just a dusting. It's no big deal. But it is a completely different situation down here. So we take our snow seriously. Okay, so as far as everything that I'm doing with this planner, I did make one change. So those of you that remember from watching my channel, I last year I was in a Hobonichi Weeks, and it basically did everything I needed it to, except it didn't quite have enough. It didn't have any extra pages that I needed for tracking certain types of things. So this year, instead of having one planner that does it all, I've broken it up into several planners. And so this is my everyday carry, and it carries everything that I need with me on the go. That was kind of the goal of this one. So it's about as small as I could get with all the layouts I needed and everything to work for me. So before I bought this planner, I had bought a B6 planner from Paper Test Designs that I really, really loved the size of. And at that time, I wasn't super familiar with all the options out there for basics. And so what I loved about Paper Test was that she had the month and then the week and then all the days and then the next week and all the days and the next week and all the days, etc., until you got to the next month. So instead of flipping through multiple sections of your planner to get to different things, you were always in the same section until you were done with that month. So, and I still do like a lot of that, but because she has so many pages in hers, it ended up being kind of a heavy thing to carry with me. And it didn't have a vertical layout, and I would have had to sacrifice a daily page to get a good vertical layout, etc. So I I decided to use her journal, her planner as my journal, and that has gone quite well. One of the things that I was tracking in that journal was my media log, what things I was watching every day, listening to, watching, etc. And so that was, and that has worked out okay, except up until yesterday, I have been struggling to find a time of day to journal. Like, this is with me all the time. I'm constantly referring to this all day long, but it's a separate book to sit down. Oh, now I'm going to journal. I struggled with it. And so I often would sit down like maybe once or twice a week and kind of fill in all the days of things that I hadn't filled out. And I've gotten a little bit behind. I think I had like 6 days sprinkled in there that I hadn't filled in and that I wanted to. And so I was like, I need a plan for journaling time. And I guess the reason I'm bringing this up is because if I didn't sit down to journal, I didn't sit down to do my media log, which meant I wasn't logging what my media was at all. And so I finally just came to the conclusion that, you know what? Why does the media log need to be in with the journal? It doesn't. There's no need for that. And so this week I've started my media log down here. I mean, in this planner, I'm not scheduling appointments after 8 p.m. That's pretty much the end of things. Not that I'm not doing things, but this is more for like appointments. I do write in between them kind of things I'm doing sometimes, but I don't consistently do it, nor do I have to do it because I have another place to keep track of my to-do lists. And so I decided, since I have from 9 to 12, I mean, 1 or 2, you've got all the space down here. Let's use that every day for the media log. So that is what I've done. One thing I need to write in here. I did start a new audiobook yesterday. House of the Seven Gables. Classic. And so that was my media for yesterday. And I think I will be much better about keeping this up because I'm seeing it. And like, even though I forgot to do that yesterday, it's still fresh in my mind today to put it in there. And I think that will give me a much more accurate sense of where my time is going as far as media, chores, etc. So that's basically the only change, which is good because the bottom of my planner tends to be the empty space, which is fine because I'll go in and I'll put some stickers in and decorate it and make it cute. But those don't have to be there. And I certainly couldn't. I'm more of a functional planner than a decorative planner. So I'm totally cool with having less decoration and actually using this space for a media log. So that is what I'm doing moving forward there. Okay, so after your weekly section ends, you get to your blank pages. So those started. I started this planner a little bit early. So I've got a couple, these are like running to-do lists for each week. And then I have a monthly habit tracker, which I did pretty good in January. And then I kind of got tired of this layout here for my to-dos. So I switched to this way of doing it, and that looks all cute. But this is the result of actually having all of these lists on Post-its. When I complete something, that's when I put it there. So what I need to do is go in here and add. That was everything I did Tuesday. I had a productive day. Love it. Okay. And let's put this in. Okay, I need every space for Wednesday. Did I go over one? Wednesday. Okay. Either I spelled it wrong. Or no, I guess I do have a space for it. Okay. Sorry, I was frustrated with myself, feeling like this was running. I was trying to have all my days like line up with the number, and because most of my numbers, I guess I was thinking, I guess I'm doing double-digit numbers, and I still have a space. My brain was like going crazy, so I put that there, and it was hard to read, and that one was hard to read, and I was like, man, that's gonna look funny, but I've got plenty of room. Okay, sorry, squirrel moment. So this is what my daily list for yesterday was. And you know what I didn't put down here was kitchen. I did work on my kitchen yesterday quite a bit. Okay, so I did that. Working on a project for church where we kind of track what hymns we're doing, so we're not doing the same ones every week. All right, so that I got almost everything done on my list for yesterday. I just have these two things left. Today, I was planning to be at the school and doing a hot lunch the whole morning and early afternoon. So I didn't really plan much for myself to do today. So I'm going to catch up on my memory keeping, which is sadly behind. The Hobonichi cousin that I bought as to be a everything planner and then changed my mind because I felt like it was huge. I decided to make into my memory keeper, and as you can see, I only got to January 14. Man, I need to go in and fill in some stuff. So that is my job today, and what I'm doing is I'm going through my phone, going through my Facebook, going through those kinds of things, and any ephemera that I find and I hang on to, I stick in here as well. But I go through all of those. I do a Be Real every day. And so I'm just printing all of those things out and putting them in here. If there's something to write, I am. So last year, I'll pull this out. Okay, this is the cousin of Avec. I don't know how you pronounce it because I'm not Japanese. And it's probably an acronym, who knows. This is half of a year. This is half the size of the other one. You can see how small that spine is. But it got so thick because I used it for everything. And so I have not only ephemera, but journaling, to-do lists, like crazy stuff. And so I decided, obviously, if I doubled this, it would be a lot to carry around. And so I use multiple planners now. But the other thing is I like having a bulky, chunky planner. I like seeing all the things that are going on in my life, but I don't necessarily want that to be included with journaling because, you know, I might want to show this to somebody and I don't want them to read my journal at the same time as they're looking at the pictures of the things that we did on our breaks. So that is why there's so many books. So this would be something that I'm putting together for myself, my family. I might pull it out and show friends, kind of what's going on in my life. Taco Bell. Wow. That was the most exciting thing of the day. So it's in there. But that's what this is. This is going to be more of a public memory record. And then my journal will just have the journaling stuff and not so much ephemera. And that's okay because that's more private. I'm not necessarily going to show people stuff in my journal unless I want to. And it keeps everything kind of in its place. So this needs to be caught up on. This is my job for today. And that's what I'm going to do when I get done making this video. So that's my main goal for today. Now, I won't write those things down here until I've done them. So everything that's here is stuff I actually did. And everything on here is stuff that I'm planning to do. That's why if I had written down memory keep and print photos here, then that would have just been an empty space since I didn't do them. And I would have had to either white out and move this up or cross it out and leave it there. Like, I'm trying to think. Well, anyway, I'm trying to avoid writing things over and over, because I am the person that makes a huge list at the beginning of the week, and then I think I can get way more done every day than I can, and then those tasks get moved to the next day and the next day and the next day. And so, like, if you looked at my to-do lists here, the things that are crossed out like that, that means I didn't do it. It got moved over. How many things are crossed over and moved over? This is like my chores categorized, taking up the whole page. That's a lot of writing things down. And so that is what I'm trying to avoid at this point in time, is writing and rewriting the things that I'm trying to do over and over and over again. So far this has worked pretty well. And I mean, look how slim this is. When this gets done, I just rip it out and throw it away. Some of these things I won't actually check off, because these are weekly chores that just come up every time. I'm going to have to meal plan and go grocery shopping at least once every week, if not more. So I don't need to rewrite it. I just keep moving that sticker to the next section. So this is like my Sunday. A lot of times at the beginning of the week, let's see, I haven't done that yet, but I'll just sit down with these. I've got 6, and then, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Those are the days that I try and get things done. And so I'll just stick those sticky notes out and start writing things. Like, here's a payment list of payments that I need to make. My next one's 28th of February, and the amount, I've got that sitting right there. So this is the week that's going to happen. And when I pay that one, I'll move it down to the week in which the March 28 one needs to happen. And then I don't have to think about it, rewriting it every single time. I didn't really want to, I started off when I first started this system, and I think I whited it out. Is this the first one? This is the first one. Yeah, I whited it out because I had this divided up in 6 equal spaces. And then I was like, no, I want them to get squished together. So, anywho, this is how I'm working with my to-do lists. And like for this week, I didn't do much. I didn't even do anything Sunday. I shouldn't say I didn't do anything Sunday. We had a youth group drive-through Valentine's fundraiser. I spent from 8 in the morning until like 6 p.m. working on that puppy, and I came home and I crashed and did absolutely nothing. So I didn't really have a to-do list to check off while I was cooking. I just knew, get in there, the stuff's in front of you, make food out of it. So I don't have anything written down for Friday or for Sunday. But yeah, sometimes they're like this, and sometimes it fills up a little bit more space. This is okay. I showed you January, my task, habit trackers, mood trackers for January. February, I haven't done as well at keeping up with them. I don't know why, and I have all this blank space. So I think I'm going back to just 1 page for March. This was an experiment to keep up with this. This whole thing of I'm trying to inspire myself to do a 5-minute pickup every day in the various rooms of my house. It's really not working well. So it's kind of like wishful thinking. So if I just took these habits that I'm trying to keep track of the most and put them above my mood tracker and maybe 1 or 2 other things, I would say I'm good, because that's really what I'm keeping track of, like journaling. I did my journaling this morning, so I can check that off here. I had to come up with a better system for remembering to journal, and I'm going to be doing that every day. I'm going to get up 30 minutes earlier than I normally do. I usually get up and have my Bible study worship time, and so I am going to get up 30 minutes ahead of when I normally do that, and it changes every day because our schedule is different every day. But whatever time that is, I'm going to get up 30 minutes earlier, start my worship then, and then during the time I would have worship, I'm going to do my journal and get my journal caught up. Think about my mood, think about my, those kinds of things. And I'm going to make that a habit that is tied in with worship, because worship is a consistent habit right now. And so that's what I'm learning. If you want to add new habits, you have to tie it in with something else that you do already, or it ain't gonna happen. So next month, March, we are not going to have this much space for this. It looks so empty. I just forgot to do this. And maybe because it wasn't tied in with a weekly page. Maybe the red's not doing it for me. I don't know. Anywho, hope this is helpful, especially for anyone that is considering this planner because it is very small. I mean, it's slightly bigger than a dollar bill or bigger than a checkbook. And so it is a very small planner, and especially for a vertical layout, I mean, you've got 6 little squares across. That's tiny. There's not any wiggle room, but it does cause it to be very lightweight and easy to carry around. And that was what I was looking for. And that is kind of where we're going with this, is that it's easy to carry around because I've carried around the classic size Happy Planner that weighs 5 pounds every day. I'm not going back to that. So anywho, thanks for watching. I hope this gave you some ideas on how you can do your planning and to-dos.